Justin, gunmen Kpai two policemen in gun battle, burn vehicles in Anambra State. This is just happening. It happened about 2 hours ago. From reporting this news, it happened about 2 hours ago in Anambra State. Yeah, the news just coming to us is that gunmen have actually by about three policemen and burned their vehicles in Nnewi local in Nnewi. Without wasting much of your time, let us go straight up to the news in details. The news: suspected gunmen by three policemen and burned their vehicle during a gun battle in Nnewi, Anambra State. The state police public relation officer Tochukwu Ikenga confirmed that two officers were killed, but a resident told the nation that three officers lost their lives. The resident also stated that after buying the officers, the gunmen set their vehicle on fire in the early hours of Thursday, October 3. The area has been plagued by kpines and kidnappings over the past year. Ikenga, a superintendent of police, stated in a release on Thursday in Okwa that the command, along with joint security forces, has commenced a manhunt for the attackers. He said, Joint Security Force begins manhunt operation on armed men who murdered two police operatives on investigation activities in the early hours of today at Uruago, Nnewi North local government area. Preliminary information reveals that the armed men started shooting sporadically on sighting the police operatives and threw an improvised explosive into their operational vehicle. Unfortunately, two of the operatives paid the supreme price while the vehicles caught fire. Given the above, the command calls on members of the public, especially the eyewitnesses and others, to aid the ongoing police operation in the area. And that is that on the issue of insecurity in Anambra State. I think Anambra is now getting getting worse in this insecurity, being caused by the so-called political talks and the governors who have been using this talk to do all their atrocities. On other news, soldiers, claim that they killed a high-profile terrorist, battle IPOB militant, but that will be coming up later today on News Roundup. Later today, we'll be giving you information on that, issue. I am as the soldiers have alleged that they killed a top terrorists in Biafran land and also an IPOB member. The reality is, we know how they bring up propaganda and lies, but I am actually curious to know what this person looks like, or who is the person that the soldier has spied. But on the news this afternoon, it is happening Woto in Anambra State, as two police men have been killed currently at Nnewi. So everybody just have to be careful, because manhunt, as you know, as the police superintendent said, manhunt will be going on, and the funniest thing is that innocent people will be the ones to pay the ultimate price. It has been happening for a while in Biafran land. Once there is an issue, once there is a raid, innocent people will be the ones to pay the supreme price. But let us hear other issues happening today in Biafran land. Enjoy this wonderful video.
Hands up, then that's your question.
As we wait for the questions, I can continue to. There is something that I about UN. My fellow Africans, there is no UN anymore. What we have is a fragmented United Nations Security Council. And this week, if you can follow my program, I addressed the whole world and stated my position very clearly. UN died. 3 countries versus 2. China, Russia versus America, Britain, and France. They were mandated to keep peace. So we are on our own. If you think they will keep peace and tell you anything, there's nothing to tell you now. 2, they are even floating something funny for Africa. They say Africa should have 2 non-veto permanent seats. How can you invite somebody to a house and tell him you don't eat food? Stay in the house, but don't eat any food. You to invite a person to be a permanent member, then you say don't eat the food. That's the UN that they are inviting us. So I as Dr. Masanga, I totally oppose. Then why do we even go there for what? You won't have even power to discuss anybody. You see, you won't even have power to say anything. So why do you waste the time? They will veto you and go and bomb someone. They will not listen to you because the veto country will come up and veto. So help from UN will not come. The help is coming from you yourselves. The unity, the fight, the the focus on the price. The price is to have our people liberated from the bondage of the marauding terrorists who have come from the north and killing people anyhow, taking people's farms, occupying vast places which have minerals. One of the problems that I discovered about Nigeria is where Boko Haram operates. These are the states that have got a mineral called Californium. And the Californium is the most expensive mineral in the world. And it costs $27 million. $27 million and a gram, 1 gram of Californium. You have realized how these terrorists of Boko Haram and the ISIS are surviving in those regions. They are mining those minerals. And if they sell, but whom are they selling the minerals? Californium is used for what? So there are so many challenges we have today. Let me take the first question. I can see a hand.
Rage, you first raise your hand up, please. Bring it down, ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Am I being heard?
Go on, Rage.
All right.
Can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Greetings to the friends all over the world. And I want to say special thank you and greetings to our father, Dr. Masanga. Thank you very much. The truth is that when you prove to be our fathers, we call you a father and we regard you as a father. Not fathers that will tell us how to take money and watch us be kids. Those are unworthy fathers. Thank you very much, Dr. Masanga, for the great work that you are doing for Africa. And I want to believe that you will not allow the children of Africa to be enslaved or to be killed while you are alive, and you will do everything you can to get us free. My question is very simple. In the just concluded United Nations Assembly, when the Prime Minister of Israel came to the podium to speak, and we all remember that on the 7th of October, 2023, Hamas terrorist group sponsored by Iran invaded Israel and killed innocent children, innocent women, innocent civilians are kidnapped over 230 civilian Israelis. So, but on that assembly in UN, when the Prime Minister was coming to say his part, a number of the representatives of the United Nations, they walked out of the, which means they are simply in support of the killing of children and women. What is your take on this, Dr. Masaka? What is your take on these people walking out at that very point in time? Thank you.
Thank you. The situation of Israel-Palestine, Middle East, those who were on my platform like a university, you remember very well what I predicted. I hope you could tell the people exactly what I said instead of me saying. If you have a chance, you can tell them now that what I said when the war was just 4 days old. I said, this is an unintended war. What is an intended war? It is a war that is not for particularly for Hamas, but it's particularly for Iran. And watch the space now. It is going to end there. America does not forget. America does not forgive. America can fight you even when you are being sent down to the grave. They will want to stop your going down to the grave. So this is unintended consequences. It was not Iran, but Iran finally, and it won't take long. You will hear one morning that all the nuclear weapons reactors at Iran in Iran have been wiped out. They will wipe them out. They are going to wipe them out. They will. You see, I was telling the South African president, I wrote to him and he answered me. Then we had a chat on phone. I told him there is no judge in the ICJ who will wholly condemn Israel for genocide because it's impossible. Israel reacted after it had been attacked. But if Israel had attacked without any reaction from Hamas, then you would qualify a genocide. Get it very clear. International, that is it. People can argue even up to Angel Gabriel, even bring Angel Gabriel closer to you and ask Angel, is the nearest angel we have ever had. I don't think anybody on this platform has ever heard of another angel. Do you know the names of another angel? The only angel who became a go-between between us and the world is Angel Gabriel. If he comes and asks Angel, please help me. You are the go-between between us and Jesus Christ and God. No judge. My Ugandan lady, who were together during the courses of conflict resolution, you saw what she ruled. She ruled. She was not worried. She ruled. The other said, no, I don't agree. Israel was attacked. And it retaliated. It had to. So this war of the Middle East, first consequences are ours. We Africans, you in West Africa, you are going to be all right. You know why? All your ships will come. Because most of your ships come through the port of Southern Cape Town, the port and Durban, and then they go back to, if they are coming from China, your goods don't go through the Suez Canal. But for us in East Africa, our goods very soon. You look at the people pointing missiles at Israel. You have Yemen, the Houthi rebels. They are there. You have Hezbollah up in Lebanon. You have Hamas itself. Then now you have Iran. So unless something miraculously happens, things are going to escalate. But the point here I want to make is that where is the Security Council? Where is the Security Council? The United Nations Security Council is supposed to help for peace. But the Security Council we have now of UN is shopping for guns to give Ukraine guns. Look at that. Giving Ukraine guns in order for Ukraine to go and fight. So you tell me frankly, how shall we maintain the peace in the world? It's impossible. It's impossible to maintain the peace. So if Africa is going on the Security Council, Africa first should go with veto, and there should not be 2 seats. We want 4. We are 1.4 billion people. How come you reduce us to 2 seats without veto? You don't want to veto what you say, and you want us to go on in your council seat like women who have been told, wait for the man to come to choose you. No. I'm still waiting for an African leader. And if you give us 2 seats, you know how the fight is going to be. The first countries to fight will be 2 countries, well-known African countries that always fight. Guess them. Your place, the place, a political country called Nigeria,
And Egypt.
and South Africa. That's the first fight will begin from there. Egypt comes in to balance now. The fight is always between Egypt and Kenya. And then your fight is between you and South Africa. That's why you are slaughtered in South Africa like animals. They slaughter you. If they find you at night and you are from this country with a passport of Nigeria, my God, you might not see your wife next door or your son again. So that is the first fight. Once you give 2 seats, who takes them? There are 4 major points: Egypt, Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria. Nigeria by mass. You have a population of 220 million, an army which is a very useless army that turns to kill civilians instead of protecting them. It used to do very good peacekeeping missions. It was removed because of the bad behavior of the army. It is no longer on the peacekeeping missions. You know that. This is a point you should capitalize on, you people who are here, scholars. Why Nigeria? This is when you are writing your letter, you say, look, if you think Nigerian army is very good, Nigerian army is very good, why is it that you removed them from the peacekeeping mission? Anywhere. Where have you seen them going there anymore? These are things that your government should do. Should have the minister in charge of scrutiny, a department that also does this information, that does information. You must also sharpen your tools of disinformation and put this enemy. They are confused. They don't know anything. You must also have a department of people who can also persuade the soldiers quietly. Yeah, quietly. You must have people who can tell them, hello, you are now, do you know what? Why don't you just try this? Some of us say things that we cannot talk here on the platform, but we are very deadly on some of those strategies. Because we have overthrown several governments. So my country, we overthrew. I was the one with Mengistu Mariam to overthrow with Nnewi and Isaias Afwerki. We went to Ethiopia in 1987 with them. We thought we could not come back. And they got the leadership. There you are. Nnewi and Isaias Afwerki, one has died, two of us are still alive. Isaias Afwerki of Eritrea, who has become even worse. He has called me for over 20 times to go to Eritrea, but I don't go there. I told him, you don't behave like a Democrat. How do you allow all Eritreans? You know, when you go to Eritrean airport, it's like you are going to hell. They search, you write the number of your phone, the serial number. It's a communist state, more or less, but this is my friend. We all stayed in Britain. Don't say he was not in Britain. We worked together in the same office, even when they gave us arms to go and fight Mengistu Haile Mariam. Some of them did not know how to use those arms. But some of us were the ones who coached some of them, do this, do that, fight that, go for a quick military training, 2 months, 3 months. We overthrew Mengistu Haile Mariam. So the government, this army that threatens people, beats up people, is very easy to divide. Very easy. You must have a department that divides them. You see? That divides them. And that department must always be there also. Don't think of being annoyed with them only. Just think of also, there are some there who go to fight when they don't know. They don't want. Some of them don't want to kill people. If you find one or two, that's why you see all the coups in West Africa are being done by junior officers. So have you asked yourself, where are the senior officers? Major General, where are they? Are they not in the army? But have you had them being killed? No. Captain Toure of Burkina Faso, another captain. Have you seen? Another captain in Mali. Coups are not done by big generals. Coups are done by the younger, small officers of your age, you people. So that is, you must have departments. UN and Israel, the situation is worse. It is threatening us in the eastern part of Africa. Our sea routes, our goods are reaching too late. And to be very honest, the next target is Iran. So don't be confused by anybody that the war is ending tomorrow. No, America, the Democrats want to win an election in November. So if they have a conflict like that and they have hit Iran, then they will win the vote, isn't it? Very nicely. Like Obama hit that gentleman called Osama bin Laden. He won the second term very comfortably. So thank you.
Professor
I can see
Professor Matsanga.
yes.
Professor Matsanga, the Iran hit Israel with 181 ballistic missiles. Do you think that Israel will just said, okay, let us just let them be?
The what?
Iran hit Israel with 181 ballistic missiles.
But that's why I'm telling you it is going to end back there. The consequences of 181 ballistic missiles going back, who knows? They could send one missile with poison, with nuclear weapon, with nuclear material. We shall all perish.
What does Iran want to achieve with these ballistic missiles?
Yeah, but look, the conflict of Middle East, Iran created is Hezbollah. Hezbollah is purely Palestinian refugees who occupied themselves. They grew up and they occupied, they took over government in Lebanon and they became strong and they had allies. You know, as you know, there's Shiite and Sunni. The Lebanon government itself, the Lebanese, most of them are Sunni Arabs. The Shiite Hezbollah group, supported by Iran, came as refugees. They were given space because there was no more space anywhere. And they became a population part and parcel of Lebanon. And then they linked across with the Syria, Assad, the president of Syria, the former president, and the current president, the late and the current. So when you look at the Iran, the sponsorship of Hamas by Iran, the sponsorship of Iran sponsoring Hezbollah, Iran sponsoring the Houthi, the Shiite Muslims of Iran who are in power, the Ayatollah Khomeini in power, is a Shiite Muslim. He doesn't like Sunni. He doesn't like Saudi Arabia. If he was allowed, he would have smashed Saudi Arabia with arms. Saudi Arabia is kept by the West. It has enough of those capturing, what are they called? The one that capture the tomahawks, the missiles when they come, before they blast. So how long will they sustain this war? The war is not going to end now, because you don't know how many missiles Iran has. Two, there is an infiltration, which is very clear, for the killing of all Hezbollah commanders using the pager. There is one theory as an international relations expert. Some younger generation like you people in Biafra, you are fed up. You grew up hearing over Ayatollah. You want life. When you go when you put on your phone, there are some films that you watch, some things that your friends outside Iran are enjoying. So what the West is trying to do is to get a second layer of leaders, new leaders. Have you seen? You see the strategy of wiping out all the commanders of Hezbollah, about 12 of them. They are gone. Now you have new moderate guys, some of them who might want to say, ladies and gentlemen, let's accept peace. Let's sit down and talk. That's the aim. Because these current guys of 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s are not the people you can bring down on table. So there's that strategy of eliminating the current crop of leadership that we see in Tehran, and then in the Hezbollah. And probably one of the reasons is they had America has got unfinished business in Syria. You notice that Syria was left. They just abandoned Syria because Russia came to the rescue of Syria and blocked any attempts to bomb completely Syria upside down. And they created an ISIS. The biggest problem in that region of Syria and Turkey is the Kurds, the Kurdistan issue of Abdullah Öcalan, who was kidnapped again from Kenya. Kenya has been very renowned for rendition. So it's not the first time that Nnamdi Kanu was rendited from Kenya. Some time back, Kenya rendited Abdullah Öcalan, the leader of PPK. That is the Kurds, Kurdistan, a political party that has been fighting to get its own independence. You notice that around the region, we have the issue of Kurdistan issues. The Kurds are similar to the Biafrans. If you didn't know, that's another area where you people have not gone to. You should try to find out their links and become friends with them. They are like Biafrans. because they are divided along. No country wants to give the Kurds independence. Did you know that? Russia does not want. Turkey does not want. Every country, even Iran, does not want. Now, all those countries there, the Kurds are the biggest, the majority of those states, but they are being ruled by minority. It's a sad state. There, it is a big. Russia doesn't want. Greece doesn't want. Turkey doesn't want. Iraq. You see, Iraq doesn't want. Everybody, they hate. The hated group of Europe is like the Biafran group of Africa and Amazonia. Nobody wants to give you. I don't know why they fear you. They don't want to give you your independence. Like the Kurds are feared. Every state in Europe that has the Kurds, when you talk about it, everybody said, no, wait, I'm coming back. Let me go to the toilet first. Because people don't want, I don't know why. This issue of Biafra would have been sorted out after 2014 because the cover went down, finished, cut off. No more. There's no more agreement. We are living in illegality. Thank you. I can see citizen from Kenya. Is it citizen Dama from, you can host, you can direct it. Benja, do you still have a question again?
Okay, thank you very much, Professor, for that